Rejection hurts. Let me tell you why. Scientists have found out that when we experience rejection, the same parts of our brain are activated as when we experience physical pain. This quick set is all about how you can best handle rejection for your personal growth and transform it from a negative moment into a positive learning experience, all in the sense of no risk and no reward. I'm your host, Casper, and welcome to Apprentice Nation. Fact: rejection is part of all our everyday lives, especially when we step out of our comfort zone and take risks. Something we all need to do to become, can you guess? Exactly, to become the best versions of ourselves. We often fear rejection because it can make us feel many uncomfortable emotions, like embarrassment, sadness, insecurity, and even anxiety. And that's okay. It's just really important that you're honest to yourself about how rejection makes you feel. As humans, we just don't like to hear the word no. Handling rejection is all about our mindset and reminding ourselves to think positively. It's important for you to learn ways of how you can pick yourself up and move on from it. And who would be better suited to give you some advice on this than our artist, Jaz Karis? Let's check out what she had to say. The music industry is a very competitive environment, and I can imagine that breaking into it comes with this fair share of experiencing rejection.
Yeah.
So can you think back to a moment in your career when you experienced rejection and just tell us a bit more about it? Like, how did it make you feel? How did you pick yourself up afterwards? And how did you move on from it?
I think, rejection happens all the time in this industry, and I think I'm super sensitive, Sally. So I think it was literally, you have to realize to not take it personally at all. I can definitely remember times where I thought maybe it'd be a yes, maybe a no, or maybe about better offer or something like that. But moving past it, it just comes with practice and like kind of just believing in yourself. You kind of always have to make sure you've got yourself. So then, you know, no matter how many no's, it doesn't matter, because it's your yes that counts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like how you mentioned that being sensitive and stuff like that, because I'm sensitive as well. So
Yeah.
it's really about just like kind of keeping that self-belief.
You can't take it personally,
100%. And just now that you've gone through like through the experiences of rejection, what would you tell your younger self in these same kind of situations? If
I knew maybe like it's going to be cool, it's going to be fine, and it's all a no means is that it just wasn't meant for you. I mostly would tell myself that.
I like that, especially when you say it was not meant for you. There's always something greater coming afterwards.
Exactly that.
Rejection's not the end, it's the beginning of something new.
100%.
Thank you so much for joining us, Jaz. I appreciate it.
Welcome, anytime.
That was some great advice from our artist, Jaz Karis. With this advice in mind, let's dig a little deeper. Let us think about 3 examples of rejection. Choose one of the following scenarios and take a moment to reflect on it. And ask yourself the following questions. How would it make you feel? How would you move on from the emotions and hurt? And how would you pick yourself up and turn the situation around?
Scenario 1, your close friend was given a bunch of free gig tickets to see Stormzy perform. Of course, you think that you will be going with them, full of excitement, your favorite outfit ready to wear, but you find out that you aren't getting one of those tickets.
Scenario 2, your company is hiring for a new role. You've been working towards this job role for months. After multiple interviews and you're starting to feel confident that you will get the position, the final decision is between you and one other. After a long wait, you don't get offered the role.
Scenario 3, you and your bestie have put in an offer to rent out a flat together. The agency is confident that the paperwork will go through quickly. You've started packing your belongings, you've bought some new furniture and made a mood board of how you want your room to look like, only for the agency to reject your offer last minute.
Since you have reflected a moment, regardless of the scenario you selected, let us tackle how to handle rejection together. Any of these situations is of course hurtful on a personal level. Try to avoid negative self-talk, like telling yourself that your friend doesn't like you or you're not valued at work. Reach out to people in your support network and talk about your feelings. In an interview situation, seek feedback from your interviewers for areas where you could improve and turn the rejection into a moment of learning and professional growth. If they really value you at your workplace, they will share feedback to help you grow. If they don't, maybe consider if this is the most supportive work environment for you. Generally, it's helpful to think and plan ahead. How do you pick yourself up when your offer for a flat is rejected? Being prepared and thinking through a plan B would benefit you massively in the process. Focus on moving forward rather than focusing on negative things that could happen or what could have been. Focus on more positive things that you're going to do next. Do you think this rejection is something that will still bother you in a week, in a month, or in a year's time? Also, be self-reflective and self-aware when you assess the circumstances around the rejection. What would you do differently if faced with a similar situation again? To give you some advice on how to do just that, I spoke to our guest speaker, Nikki Pack, the Research and Development Director at Centauri.
Hi, Nikki. Welcome to Apprentice Nation. Would you mind introducing yourself,
Hey, Casper. I'm Nikki Pegg, and I'm currently the R&D Director working for Lucozade and Ribena.
First question to you is, how can rejection be turned into a new opportunity?
Great question. I always think about the 100-10-1 rule, and I'll just explain that in case no one knows about it. Think of it as you apply for 100 jobs, you have 10 interviews, and hopefully that will lead to one of the roles. So you've got to be rejected potentially 99 times before that one thing might come off. And I guess it's all around having the tenacity to kind of just go for it again for the next time. Get feedback. That's really important. So if the rejection does happen, make sure you get some feedback. Really try to be specific as well. You know, what is it you might have said or any experiences you don't have so that you can really work on it. Otherwise, you might get something that's a bit vague coming back, which isn't something you can really work with. And I would just say channel any kind of negative energy that you might have coming out of that rejection into going again. Like, it's okay to reset, okay to have a little bit of a grumble about something, that's normal. And just reset and go again and think, right, okay, how many out of that 100 have I ticked off now? And I think it's just a numbers game sometimes. How you feel and how you choose to feel and your attitude about something is how you own it, right? You own that. I would choose your attitude about rejection, as in that what I do is, you have to have a little word with yourself sometimes, right? And think, how am I gonna let this affect me going forward? Am I gonna learn from the experience and take it positively, or am I gonna kind of be really down and out and, you know, kind of upset about what's happened here? You own when you're above the line, and you own when you can slip below the line. So think of it as above the line behaviors might be being victorious about a situation. Okay, you've had that rejection, but you're going to turn it into something positive. Get the feedback, understand, go again. You may also even want to come back to the person again and say, well, actually, if this isn't the right opportunity, have you got anything else for me? Don't go below the line and become a victim. And even if you do, okay, that's okay. We're all normal. We can't say happy, positive people all the time. But if you are below the line, or you registered that you're below the line, don't stay there for too long. It's okay to be a little bit down sometimes, and it's okay to be sad about something that's happened. But it's how long you stay below the line, then things can start to get, become more problematic for you in terms of your mental health and how you feel about things, and how you let rejection happen to you rather than you owning the attitude that you're going to take and responding to the rejection positively. So really easy for me to say and do. Sometimes I turn up for work and it's been a chaotic morning or whatever, and you're feeling a bit deflated, down and out. You might have had some bad news. And I have to have a word with myself in the car sometimes and think, how am I going to approach this day? How am I going to reset my attitude? Am I going to bring in all the baggage with me to work or at home or whatever? Or am I going to kind of decide to be where on that line, above the line, or am I going to decide to be below the line? And it is your decision. It's your decision.
Do you have any advice to a young person how to pick themselves up after rejection.
Yeah, that's tricky, isn't it? Because there's all very well just saying, come on, pull yourself together, it's not the end of the world. But, no one really knows truly how you're feeling. No one's been on your journey of, kind of career highs and lows and trying to get into the workplace. It's all very personal. What I would suggest is obviously talking to friends and family. That's most important. Tell them what you're going through. Tell them how you're feeling. And don't hide your feelings away. Never do that. Always talk, find someone else to talk to. Just this one wasn't right for you. Don't worry. It's like Velcro, life will go along and at some point something else will come and Velcro into you and it'll be the perfect fit for you at that time, right?
Analogy. Thank you so much, Nikki. You really took us on a whole journey and you gave so many really inspiring answers. And I'll just have to point out the background, like the yes in the background is just perfect, especially when it comes to, yes, to taking risks and new opportunities and stuff. So that is really appreciated.
This was some outstanding advice from Nikki. Please note that mentors like Nikki and many others from Lucozade Suntory are available for you to book time with today. Head over to our website for the extensive list. So let me recap the most important learning points for you. Put the rejection into perspective and avoid negative self-talk and catastrophizing. Maintain a positive mental attitude and focus how you can turn an unpleasant experience into something positive. Talk to people in your support network about your emotions and feelings. Rejection happens to all of us and is part of life. It can make us doubt ourselves, but what is most important is how we deal with it. When you experience rejection, remember this. It's okay to feel all the emotions attached to it, but trust, you are amazing, you are enough, and you will grow from it. And most importantly, believe in and love yourself. Even brush your shoulders off if necessary. And here are a couple of questions for you. Can you name this artist? They were dropped by their first record label before becoming one of the most successful musicians in her story. They were a member of Destiny's Child. Yes, the answer is Beyoncé. And how about this one? They were dropped from their record label whilst they were in hospital recovering from being shot multiple times. They even got blacklisted from other labels, but persisted and were able to get their material passed on to Eminem. And the rest is history. This is part of 50 Cent's life story. Both of these artists experienced some major rejection in their early careers. But look at where both of them are today. And why? Exactly. Because they did not let rejection stop them, they channeled it and allowed it to make them stronger. In this sense, I will leave you with this quote by Stormzy. My approach is just fearless. I'm not afraid of trying anything. Don't fear rejection. Go out there, become the best version of yourself, and experience all the things that life has to offer you. If you feel, however, that you need some support to get through rejection and the challenging times that we are experiencing, here are 2 mental health charities for you to reach out to: Young Minds and The Mix. Here are 3 related Apprentice Nation quick sets that I recommend you to watch next. What is resilience, problem-solving hacks, and how to take the right risks in your career. Thank you for watching.